morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is Chattin with Chap time, and I am your host, Ginger Wade, and today we're having a Q&A day, and I think it's been a little while since we've had Q&A day, so it's a good time to catch up on some stuff. Hey, while you're out there, if you like these videos, please hit the like button if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, or subscribe to us if you're on YouTube, and even if you see us on Facebook, go subscribe to us on YouTube. That would be great. And I think we're CHAP Homeschool Pennsylvania on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, subscribe to us. Let us know that you're liking these things, and let us know in particular in the comments or on the Spotify. There's a little question at the end that you can always fill out, and let us know if Q&A days are helpful to you. Let us know if, when I come on here and share what it is that other people are asking, if those are helpful questions to you. It'd be great to know if it's something that is encouraging the homeschool community or not. So let's just jump into it. Let's start off with this interesting question. Someone wrote in and asked about the public school district asking for proof of homeschooling. I think it was maybe content or quality of classes so that they could approve a homeschool. So I wrote back, and I was like, the public school, if you are homeschooling and you are continuing to homeschool, the public school's purpose for you is a drop-off center for your paperwork. They don't approve your homeschool. They don't tell you that you're doing enough or doing it okay or whatever. It's literally where you drop off your paperwork. And that's pretty much the end of it. Now, if you're intending on putting your students back into the public school, that is a different story. That is a situation where the school district can say whether or not they believe your children actually had qualifying credits. So say you've got a junior and they're coming in with freshman and sophomore classes. If the school looks at those classes and says, well, we don't like the work you did and we're not counting it, you got to start all over. That means that your junior age child needs to go back to 9th grade and start over, which sounds terrible to me, but they have the right and the jurisdiction to do that. So hopefully, I would hope that school districts would have a placement test or something that they could take so they could see where it is that they could be placed in their public school system. So that's a tricky thing. But if you're homeschooling and you're continuing to homeschool, you don't need to give any kind of proof beyond your evaluation letter to the school district. Just your paperwork at the beginning and your evaluation letter at the end, and that is that. So we did have someone write in also asking about testing for their child with autism, and was a little bit concerned about the testing requirement. I am going to be releasing a new version of our testing video coming out next Tuesday, actually. And it's going to cover all these things, but I will say here that our testing requirement, it's not I feel like the government school is built around this idea of testing and testing well. That's not homeschooling. Homeschooling's not built around that. Testing, you can get accommodations from the test company. You can do it slower with no time. You can do one problem at a time instead of seeing a whole bunch at once. You could do it online. You could do it on paper. There's lots of accommodations you can have. You don't have to test. Say if you have an 8-year-old child, you don't have to test at the 3rd grade level. You could test them at whatever level you think is appropriate for your child. So that's what's really nice about our testing scenario here is you need to do it, but you can do it in a way that works with your child if your child is struggling. You have options. So check out our video next Tuesday. I will be releasing at 11 o'clock. I'm going to be on vacation, but there will be a video for you. It will be good. So the next question was about how do I find co-ops, so co-ops and support groups throughout the state of Pennsylvania. At chaponline.com, under our resources tab, CHAP has lots of resources, and one of them is a support group and co-op group listing by county. So you can go there and find groups near you, groups all around you. The cool thing is that it is broken out by county and has all the contact information there, so you can go and visit and get to know groups. Something that you want to be aware of if you're looking for a group is to look early. Contact them now. Why not? You probably can't get in now because they're set for the year, but maybe for the next year. Start looking early. It's a good idea. And some groups that are out there are not listed with us. So if you know of a group that would like to be more accessible to the community around them and wants to be on our list, please have them go there, and it says you can get listed. One of our other questions was, how can I update my group? Our group listing isn't correct. Well, if you go to that resources tab in the group search, there's a page that says update my group listing. So you can go in there. If you belong to a group, have your leaders check it out. Make sure that the correct contact information is listed for your group on our resources page. I know that kind of stuff switches over a lot. There's new people in charge, but you forget more where you might have information listed out there for your group. Well, ours is one of those places, so make sure that we have your information, because I know recently we had folks using our list and they reached out to groups near them and no one responded to them because the information was old. It was outdated. So if you are part of a group or you know that you're listed with us, please check your listing. Make sure we're up to date so that people can find you, because people are looking for support and they really need you. So get listed with us so others know that you're there. Another question about finding stuff on local groups. Again, you can find co-op groups on our search, but you can also go to Facebook if you're on Facebook at all, which you are because you're watching me right now. But you can do a search for groups, like the word homeschool, and say your town or your county, or even your state. But that obviously is going to be a statewide thing. And you'll probably find lots of groups that are around where you are. That is a really good way to find homeschooling groups. Obviously, asking around is a great way to find groups. You might be able to get connected with a homeschooling group if you are nearby a Christian camp. So, say my son works at a Christian camp and they have homeschoolers there. They have classes for the homeschoolers. They have a group that meets there. So if you live near a Christian camp, maybe you want to check with them. Maybe they have classes for homeschoolers there. In our neck of the woods, there's lots of Christian camps, so that is a really good option. You can always look in at museums or colleges, some businesses. Like we have an art place downtown and they do homeschooler classes, so you can ask them, ask businesses around and see if they do things for homeschoolers specifically. That's another great way to get connected, asking at museums for homeschooler days and things like that. So, group info not updated. I did that one already. Let's move on to question 6. So someone wrote in and asked, I guess they were devising their own affidavit or unsworn declaration, and they asked, what are the offenses that we must certify against on our paperwork? So there is in the homeschool law, there's a list of offenses that someone living in the home cannot have committed if you were going to be homeschooling. So if you would like that particular list, obviously it's in the law, homeschoolpennsylvania.org. You can read the law. It's right in there. Or if you just want to check our paperwork and see how it's laid out on our paperwork, on homeschoolpennsylvania.org, if you search for the affidavit or the unsworn declaration, the list is contained in both of those documents, so you can check it out, or you are more than welcome to use our affidavit and our unsworn declaration as your own. But the list of offenses that are in the law are listed there at homeschoolpennsylvania.org. So that was number 6. Number 7, we've had a number of school districts, or a few school districts in the state, not accepting the unsworn declaration. So you've heard a lot about the unsworn declaration from us. Episode 164 was an interview where we discussed the unsworn declaration, what it was, and how you could use it. That is out on YouTube. It's also here on Facebook, and it's on Spotify and podcasts where you can learn about the unsworn declaration. It is an option where we can file our paperwork without having it notarized. It is legal. It needs to be accepted by the school district. There are some school districts who do not think they should have to receive it, but they do. If you do have that issue, I highly recommend you become an HSLDA member if you are not, and have them address the issue. They have contacted at least one school district, if not 2, about this very issue, and they have won the cases about it. So you can file an unsworn declaration. It's absolutely legitimate and legal. If you need support for that, please check out HSLDA. Also, let's see here. That was number 7. Where's number 8? Okay, private tutor law. So I was speaking with some people about the private tutor law. Now, the private tutor law is actually separate from the homeschool law, where homeschoolers need to file paperwork and have evaluations and testing and these types of things. There's a separate thing called the private tutor law for those who are certified as teachers in the state of Pennsylvania. So if you are out there and you are a parent who went through school and became certified to be a teacher in the state of Pennsylvania, you may file under the private tutor law. There's not much to the private tutor law, and you don't have to do filing of the affidavit or the evaluation. You don't have to do the testing. You pretty much don't have to do any of the things that normal homeschoolers do. It's just pretty much you alert the school district that you're going to educate your children at home. You show them your clearances, and that's it. So if you are a certified teacher in the state of Pennsylvania and you're considering homeschooling, that is an option for you. And I have a friend who says at the beginning of the year, I'm schooling these children. At the end of the year, they say, we've completed our year. She doesn't give any specific information at all about anything, doesn't have to file anything else. And even according to reading that law, that might not even be necessary what she does. Like, you could do it at the very beginning when your kids are 5 and you're good to go. So interesting, that private tutor law, but it is for PA certified teachers only. So question number 9 was, may I fill out the paperwork and hand it in before I have like the medical, the physical done, the dentist work done and all that? And the answer is absolutely. So when you're filing your affidavit and your unsworn declaration, and in there it says that you'll get the physical done, and you'll get the dental work done and all those things. What that implies is that you intend to get it done at some point during that school year. So you're attesting that you're going to get it done. You don't have to have it done before you file the paperwork. Just you are attesting that you're taking care of the care. So do it at some point in time during the year. So don't worry about getting it done before you file. That is not absolutely necessary. So question 10, someone had asked about whether or not their student who is an entrepreneur could sell their product at convention. So this is really awesome. I love to hear stories about homeschool students who come up with a product or come up with an idea or a service, and they go out and they market it and they create their own business. It's really awesome to hear about kids with business plans, and they have this whole marketing, advertising thing going on. It's really cool. I love seeing that. I love seeing that motivation. In the past, CHAP has had a young entrepreneur section in the convention where you could bring in your products and you could sell them. I love that. I think it's really great. It is something that we would love to see back at convention. Of course, you know what I'm going to say. What we're looking for is someone who's willing to head that up. So they would kind of walk right alongside the vendor coordinator too, hand in hand, to organize and reach out and manage the young entrepreneur section. So if this is something that sounds really awesome to you, that you want to promote homeschooled students, get their products out there, you want to make it a possibility for them to do this thing at convention, please write in. You can comment below here. You can send us a message at staff@chaponline.com. Use our contact form. Reach out to us and let us know if you would like to be the person who makes that possible for our young entrepreneurs in our homeschool community. That would be amazing. So number 11, where do I get a teacher ID card? So once upon a time, CHAP did give out a teacher ID card, and what was really funny is I guess they all expired in 2022 because we have had a lot of people write in and say, hey, can you update my teacher ID card? And unfortunately, the system that we had that did the ID cards, we have moved on to something different. So we are not able to do that anymore, but you have some really great options. If you are a member of HSLDA, they give you a little card, it's like a business card, just like we did. And on it, it says it's a teacher ID. So if you are a member of HSLDA, you have a teacher ID already, and you can use that. If you're not a member of HSLDA, you might want to consider becoming a member, because there's a lot more stuff popping up with school districts these days with them doing overreach and not exactly following the letter of the law. So it might be good to be connected with them. If you do not, or you will not, or are not planning on it, there's another option. It's Homeschool Buyers Club. So homeschool, BUYERS club.com/homeschool-ID. So that you can go out to that website and you can print a free teacher ID card. And I think you can do them for students too. So if you have like, you need a student ID of some kind for your younger kids who aren't driving yet, that is a really great option. So Homeschool Buyers Club/homeschool-ID, homeschool-ID is where you can get an ID card. So that is a really helpful thing. And like if you have a teacher's ID, you might be wondering why I would want a teacher's ID. You can get discounts. Like I know you can get discounts at Joanne Fabrics or other places, maybe Michael's or AC Moore's or other places where you might be buying school supplies or anything really. You show them a teacher ID and they'll give you a little discount. So that is really cool. So sometimes that ID card is really helpful. And I know like, was it Community Aid? Sometimes they did discounts for students if you had a student ID on Wednesday nights or something. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to. So in that way, it would be really helpful to have an ID card. So number 12 today was, how do I reach out to the homeschool community with my services? So I had a few former teachers reach out and say, I really want to support the homeschool community. I want to help them. I want to offer my skills in teaching or tutoring or even evaluating. How do I get connected to them? So what if you were out there and you were in this situation, you're a teacher or a mom or whatever, and you want to stay connected with the homeschool community or get connected to the homeschool community? There's a number of things you could do. You could get online, like I said before, with the groups on Facebook and search for like homeschool group, homeschool, and then your town name or something like that, and see if there's groups near you, and get into those groups and say, hey, I am a former teacher. I'd like to be able to teach or tutor homeschool students in whatever subject it is. Could be anything. Here's my contact information, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about it, or whatever, something like that. CHAP does not have a listing for tutors. And I'm thinking, wow, maybe it's something we need to consider as a way to network people. But we do not have that. So I do think it would be wise to look at the groups in your area. And if you are a group and you are looking for people to be teachers of specific subjects, maybe you have a webpage you could post that information on. So if there are teachers in your area looking around, it's be nice to work on figuring out a way to integrate the folks who like to support the homeschool community and those who are looking for support. It's really just to get word of mouth is really the best way. Get to know the homeschoolers in your area, look for groups that are in your area, offer your services, and something that is going to be interesting for you to think about with homeschooling. And some of you do have experience with homeschoolers and you've seen what it looks like, but homeschooling really, even in a co-op, it's a little bit of a different animal than schooling in a public school. So it just, the feel is different. It just functions different. Like my co-op, we only meet once a week. We meet once a week. The kids get lessons once a week, and then they go home and they work on stuff on their own for the week, and they come back to have class once a week. So it functions differently than a class where you're meeting every other day or every day. So it is a change of mind. So it's totally doable and workable. But if you're looking to support the homeschool community in that way, as a teacher, it functions a little bit differently. So just something to think about, thinking outside the box and what we have known in the past. So the last question of the day, someone had written in, we had a few people that wrote in and asked for a CHAP discount code for HSLDA. So like say you want to be a member of HSLDA and you're wanting that CHAP offered us a discount code to make the HSLDA membership cheaper. And you know what? We do. I won't give the number right out on this video, but you can contact us at staff@chaponline.com. You can also use the contact form at chaponline.com. You can message us, inbox us here on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you and help you out with that code. But yes, it's very kind of HSLDA to give us that code so we can pass a discount savings on to you who are looking into being HSLDA members. So thank you for tuning in today. Those are all the questions I had. Again, if you have questions, please do not hesitate. You can put them here. Any of those other ways I said to contact me, through the inbox, through the staff at chaponline.com, through the contact form at chaponline.com, through the comments on YouTube, through the messaging on Spotify. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Let us know what your questions are. We would love to answer them. We would love to support you in that way, and then share that with those out there who are really have these questions. And I'm sure that it is helpful to others to hear your questions too. You're not the only one with the questions. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So I hope you're staying dry. I don't know what it's like where you are in the state of Pennsylvania right now, but it has been raining here since, I don't know, Saturday, Friday. It's been a long time, so we're kind of soggy. And, we're getting the, here's the beginning of fall, it's raining comments from the people who wish it was still summer. But, we're living. I hope you're living too, and enjoying the startup of your school year. We're well into September and getting things rolling, and my drama's well rolling, and it's really, really good. So I pray good things on your homeschool this year, that you'll enjoy the relationship building and the growing that you do together. Remember just to invite people in, just to support each other through this journey, support each other through the walk, and just love where it is that Jesus leads you on this journey. It's good. It's good. The growth is good. The time together is good. And if you're teetering on the edge and wondering if you should homeschool, absolutely jump on in. We are here to support you. And I know there's homeschoolers around you too that are around to support you also. So do not hesitate to reach out to us. We're here for you. Have a great day. Stay dry. And I will see you next Tuesday. All right. Bye now.